Testing, testing. Mm. Hey y'all, welcome to the Devon A. Morris Unfiltered call-in show. Have a seat. Let's get ready. You have any questions? Come on, call in. Come on to that Discord channel. Do me a favor, get the Unfiltered crew some finger snaps. We're ready to get started here. Mondays, 8 p.m. Every single Monday, we're here. I'm excited about it. Are you? Let's get this show started, y'all. The greatest Scrum show on earth. I'll see y'all soon. Enjoy. Should be some audio now. I don't know why it went with no audio. So let me go ahead and say thank you to everyone who just told me that. I appreciate you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And let me start over. Let me start over with probably no applause, with throwing some applause out there. But first things first, let me do the applause thing like I would normally do. But I'll start back over. Let me start from the beginning. My name is Devon Morris. This is the Devon A. Morris Unfiltered call-in show where we talk about Scrum and Agile and all those things, right? And so what I was saying earlier is I had no audio, so thanks LinkedIn user, Miss Black Vixen, Miss STL, so I'm assuming that's St. Louis, right? Maybe not St. Louis, could be your initials. Thanks, John, signified, I appreciate it. But here's the deal, right? So some of you all may see on, I believe, could be LinkedIn. Some of you all may see someone on LinkedIn named John Signo. I actually took a class with him, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But let me start off by saying that a lot of times I get people who are asking me questions about, living this life associated with Scrum and Agile, being an Agile coach, a Scrum Master. There's just a range of them, but it's roughly the same question. How do I have a career like you have a career or have had a career within this world of Agile / Scrum? Okay. And so I had a guy reach out to me on LinkedIn, and again, at least probably 4 or 5 times a week, I get someone brand new reaching out to me. And so this time I created a video for my man, and I, just took a quick video because I was actually cleaning my car. And so I took a quick video and just gave him some tips and told him to join the class. And that's the best way to kind of get started. I mean, you don't need a certification to start out in Scrum, but it's at least a good place to get started, right? And so that right there inspired me, right? And so there's a guy here, John Signo. He does a class called Brand and Land, and I always send it out to my list because I always have people who are looking for opportunities, and I send it directly to them because he does this 5-hour marathon. I mean, it's like a marathon for real. So I attended it, literally months and months and months ago because I needed to see if John was any good, and John's good, right? And so here's what happened. There's some things that I learned. And so I reached out to John. I say, hey, I'm about to apply for a job. I need some job scans for this thing. And so I can start doing the things that he actually said to do. Because every once in a while I get something on from LinkedIn saying, hey, apply for this job. So I saw a job. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to apply for a job. But, okay, am I really looking for a job? I'm not really looking for a job. I'm not at all. Right? I have a job. It's called Bearded Eagle. It's what I do all the time, right? But in me not having a job and me not having looked for a job in I don't know how long, like I haven't legitimately looked for a job, since probably truly '07. A lot of times opportunities come to me because I've been referred by someone, and hey, just listen to these people, right? So it is one of those things where I've been very, very fortunate to be able to get jobs, and I've had no problems with employment over the years. So I'm blessed and fortunate. Now that's not to brag. It's just I may have been around at the right time for certain things, and so here's the deal. Well, I do put good work in. Just want you to know that I actually put good work in. But here's the deal. Here's something that you need to understand and know, right? I haven't applied for a job in years. So it's one of those things for me where when people ask me for help in terms of finding a job, I feel like a fraud. Because realistically, how can I help you find a job? And I haven't really looked for a job in years, right? We're talking about, there wasn't a lot of things out there when I was looking for a job back in the day, right? And it's just the world is different like 10 years later. I mean, I can honestly say to you, the last time I looked for a job was in 2007 when I truly looked for a job, and that was when I got the opportunity to go to Capital One. I was searching and hardcore searching at that point. But after that, it just opportunities just came. And I'm not, I'm not in a position to give you advice about the things that it takes to get a job. I'm just not. And so I feel truly like a fraud when someone's asking me beyond the Agile expertise, beyond being in a job. I mean, I know what it takes in terms of being in a job, right? I know that part, right? So I can give you every single piece of advice that you need to have after you signed on a dotted line and you walk into the whatever organization and you're doing the actual job. I can help you with that on extreme levels. But where I have a gap at, my gap is actually getting to the job. Getting to the place where somebody puts an offer letter on the table for you, right? And so I told myself I need to run an experiment, right? Now, if you know me at all, you know one of the things I do is run experiments. I'm always talking about running experiments. Some of you all know me. If you remember any time that I told you to run an experiment, just kind of put a smiley face and oh yeah in the chat, something like that, right? Just so that I know that you hear me. And so I always run experiments. And the reason why I run experiments is because I don't want to invest a lot of time. I don't want to invest a lot of money into something, right? Before I can see the actual success of it. I want to see things turn out somewhat successful or make sure that I'm moving in the right direction. And then I can put more resources into it, right? And so I decided to go ahead and apply for a job. Now, do I expect to hear from anybody? No. I've kind of put myself in a position. Well, I'll ask you all this question in a moment. But the part that really was the scariest part of applying was pulling everything together, right? Because I hadn't updated my resume for years. I mean, literally, my resume has not been updated for years. And so it is, in today's world, there's these applicant tracking systems or application tracking systems or whatever you call these things, right? That for most large enough organizations, they have some version of this thing. And my resume being able to be qualified and fit that is a good thing. But, I haven't updated my resume in a long time. So one of the things I did, like the class, the brand and land class, told me. And since I seen John here, I'm going to assume that you're still here, John. Do me a favor, throw the link to your class in the chat. I don't normally tell anybody to advertise, but I'm only telling this because I know John, I've been to the class, and I found value in it. And one of the things that it talked about in the class, because I'm looking at myself as a newbie, at least in the world of finding a job. I didn't know anything about a job scan, like literally scanning your resume against the actual opportunity. I didn't know anything about that. And I had not tried it, right? I had not tried it. Okay, here's a statement. I had not tried it. And so it's one of those things where how can I give you some advice about something if I haven't tried it myself, okay? And I see that John Stone in the chat, the link there for the next session. My statement to you is, join it. Join it. It's not even, for 5 hours, it's not expensive. It's not expensive at all for 5 hours, right? But yeah, it's a long time, but actually is very, very interesting. 5 hours, you think it's a long time, it goes by actually pretty fast, right? And he gives more breaks than I give in my class, trust me. So here's the deal. when he started talking about this tracking system, I had no clue, right? And so, go to the class to figure out all the specifics around, the whole process or whatever. But the idea is that I went to a site and I actually took my resume and understand I'm a certified Scrum trainer, okay? Classically, in my world, I am, going after bids for work in terms of as a company. And there may be times when my resume is attached because sometimes people want to know who's going to be involved in whatever this opportunity is. And so time, maybe 2-3 times a year pre-COVID, 2-3 times a year pre-COVID. I'd have to attach my resume to it, but my resume gives a bunch of amazing stuff on it and talks numbers and everything else. So imagine this. I'm a certified Scrum trainer, right? I've been around Scrum since 2005, right? I take an opportunity that exists. Now I'm going for the gusto. It's an executive, Agile something, right? And so I throw that thing in there, throw the description in there, all the words that it says, and I take my resume and I copy that, put that in there too, right? And it was about a 10% match, man. Like, they give you a rating, in terms of this little job scan on how your resume matches up to the opportunity. You understand? And so I put my stuff there and did a comparison, and there was a 10% match. And their statement was they wanted me to get to 80%, like, for real. And so here I go. I'm applying for a job at probably 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame I started applying for a job. But I didn't apply yet. I pulled up the opportunity expecting, hey, I'm going to be matched up. I'm going to be good. And then what I had to do at that particular point is I had to do a ton of work on my resume. Now, mind you, I haven't touched LinkedIn. I haven't touched any of this social media stuff at all. I haven't done any of that stuff, right? So I'm over here and I got a 10% match and I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I'm very, very sad because I know all my experience and most people that would apply for that job, I probably got more experience in this world than them. And I'm depressed that I am a 10% match, right? And so I'm just like, okay, I got all this real world experience actually doing this, okay? Really, I got all this real world experience actually doing this. And if I would have just applied for that job with a 10% match, it is highly likely I'm not going to get it unless something miraculous happened, right? And so I'm really, really shocked and surprised at this point because I just wasn't thinking about how important it is for who I am presenting myself as, right? Because just remember, they may not know me at all. They may not know me at all, okay? Once I put that resume out there, once I put it there, how do I get the interview? Because I'm trying to get from, so look, I'm trying to get from one place to another, right? Joe, I haven't seen Mr. Collins in a long time. How you doing, brother? How you doing? For real. Actually, I'm not going to go on a tangent, but I'm going to talk about Joe in just a minute. But here's the deal, right? And so I'm sad. I'm really, really sad because what I'm feeling like, again, is a fraud because I'm not giving the right advice for people that come around me and want to find an opportunity. And, again, if you come to a class with me, it's all good, right? I can get you once you land a job, we can get you squared away on what you need to do. Okay. And as John says here, the guy I keep telling you the class is about, you get one shot to make your resume get past the applicant tracking system. Whew. One shot. You get one shot. Do you understand? And John is the one that teaches the class, right? So you get one shot at getting past the ATS, right? And so here I am, a certified Scrum trainer, and I am panicked. I'm literally panicked. I'm panicked because I have a 10% match, man. I really have a 10% match. So I'm a little bit sad here. Now, here's the worst part for me, right? If you know anything about me whatsoever. I'm also very last minute on everything. Let me tell you that again. I'm very last minute on a lot of the things that I do because I just don't want to waste no time. And so I wait till the last possible moment, the last responsible moment is what I typically do. And so I'm like 8 o'clock, I should be able to get my resume in, slam dunk, within an hour. I should be able to get it done. Y'all realize that I applied for that job at 11:57? The deadline was 11:59, right? I'm starting applying for that job at 11:57. If some of y'all felt that way, just I guess just say amen, something like that, right? But here's the deal, right? I was really worried because I started at 11:57, but guess what? When I jumped in at 11:57, what I had copied did not fully translate over. So now I'm over here in the applicant tracking system, and it was Workday was the tracking system that they used, right? And so it was helpful because once I started doing the work on the resume, once I started with looking at the little job scan, it started giving me some tips. Like one of the most amazing tips was, hey, put the link in. So, and then they could determine which applicant tracking system was being used by the company. I'm really not understanding this whole applicant tracking system. And so I put the link in, it determines what the right one is, and it's giving me additional recommendations about my resume, about what I should do to be able to get through this thing on the first try. And even when I did that and I followed the vast majority of the recommendations that they said, right? I mean, I'm going through them all, but this is the reason why it took me so long, because I started at before 8 o'clock, and it took me pretty much 4 hours. 11:57 is when I was submitting it, and I had to just go and say, I'm submitting it. I wasn't done. You understand? I wasn't done. I had to just go and say, I am submitting this thing because I need to get it in. And so the things that I learned during that time that was super valuable for me was that I wasn't ready. I had done none of the pre-work that it would have took for me to really go about applying for that opportunity. I had not dusted off my resume. And I can tell you right now, probably 50% of the people that ask me about a job search haven't updated or dusted off their resume. Haven't done it, right? Because one of the things is I say, well, maybe you should update your resume so it can match the job. And they're like, oh, that's a great idea. Well, that means you probably ain't done it, right? And so I'm over here learning. I'm learning, right? Because the words that I was using wasn't mapping back to the opportunity. When it talks about the types of different skills and everything else, I wasn't having words that map back to the opportunity. Okay? So I'm over here really not fitting this opportunity very well. I'm just really not, to be truthful, right? And I have to be 10,000% accurate myself. I mean, I'm probably playing. I'm really testing something out. I'm really running an experiment here. But in my experiment, I wasn't ready. You understand? And half the battle, y'all, is you being ready. You being ready for that opportunity. And to get through that ATS on the first try is what helps you land the interview. Help you get the interview so you can get the job. You understand? And so I wasn't ready for that at all. Okay? And literally, when I say to you, it took me 4 hours to get it to 60, 65%. I'm not joking you. So my resume was 60 to 65%. Literally. Hey, Anu, how you doing? I'm voting for you, Anu. Just know that, okay? Don't tell nobody, but I'm voting for you, okay? So anyway, Anu knows what I'm talking about, right? And so the deal here is, if I'm sitting up here and I want to apply for an opportunity, my first statement to you is start doing some pre-work. Start doing some pre-work. It is so serious for you to start doing some pre-work. Okay? Because if you don't do that pre-work, you're going to run into a huge problem. Okay? And I'll tell you some more things that I learned, but yeah. I'm going to go ahead and drop in the chat the actual link for if you want to join us on the call. And if you have any questions related to Scrum as I continue this conversation, you're welcome to click that link, and then you'll go into a green room, and that's how I'll ultimately bring you in on the show. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or want to talk about any success stories, anything like that, right? So I may end up putting somebody on the spot, but what I'm gonna do is if John is available, John, I want you to join me, right? You might be doing something, and I know this is impromptu, but if you're available, I just want you to join me here, because you probably can explain some of this stuff better than me. Well, no. Let me stop that. You will be able to explain this stuff better than me, okay? So I know you might not be ready for all that, John, but if you ain't, whatever, just come join me, right? Doesn't matter. We ain't trying to look pretty here. So when I tell you the amount of tips that it gave me, it was ridiculous, but I could not get all those tips in on my resume because I'm trying to update a resume at the same time I'm trying to get the resume in, and by a deadline at that, because I'm silly enough to be applying for a job within 4 hours of the deadline. Okay. And so even as a certified Scrum trainer who probably can handle that job with no problem, probably would do a better job than most people and be concerned about the people on the ground. Okay. Then I can see, it being something a little bit different, a different kind of problem. I can see all those things, right? But I just wasn't prepared, and I wasn't able to get all those tips in. Now, mind you, here's what else I haven't done. I haven't updated LinkedIn. I haven't done anything with social media whatsoever. Haven't done anything whatsoever. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, as I said, I brought John in. I asked John to join, and he's joining us now so he can help me out with this. So I'm going to bring him on in just now.
Oh, there you
John,
go.
I
Very
got you here.
unfiltered.
Yeah, scoot over so you in the camera. How you doing, brother?
Doing great.
All right, so I can hear you just fine. Thank you for jumping impromptu. Help me, John. Tell me what I was doing wrong, man.
All right. Well, it's called repetition, right? It's just like running agile stuff. You just don't run one and say you're automatically awesome. You're gonna be great at it, right? You're gonna trip. You're gonna fall. You're gonna do the applicant tracking system. It'll take you 4 hours to complete it, right? But as you keep doing it, as you keep doing the repetition, you'll understand, like, okay, hold on a second. This is a daily stand-up. It's supposed to take 15 minutes, not 30 minutes, right? How do I make it better? You're looking for those key things and key areas. And that's the things that I teach you as you go through the Brandonland area. I know you went through there, right? I know that there was a lot of questions that were brought in, but that's what I tell people. You need to just keep doing this part and reach out to me and my team, and we'll be able to help you guys out, right? And
So
remember,
John,
folks, it's
here's
not
a question.
just the yeah.
How do I know you? Where do I know you
How do
from?
Oh, well, we first met over at Bearded Eagle. You're my mentor with regards to everything that's agile,
Absolutely.
right?
And and John has the gusto to go make things happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the main reason why I attended this class is I had to see if he could train well. Because if he could train well, I wasn't going to recommend him at all. Do you understand? I was not going to recommend anything associated with John if he couldn't train well, if the information sucked, right? I know for me, I'm probably going to have to go through that class again
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't I when I took it, I just really was observing him more than paying attention to the information. I stayed the whole
Right.
time and I learned a few things, but I didn't do good enough, man. I really didn't do good enough. And so now I'm like holding myself accountable because I should have paid more attention to everything that was happening within the class. Do you understand? And so I just, my whole 4-hour experiment, what John just told me is I need to do a few more experiments.
Yep.
Repetition.
But the mere fact that you understand where to begin, right? That's where the key. That is the key. It's kind of like if you think you know agile, go join Devon, right? Go join Devon. Find out what it truly is, right? And that's it. And Devon knows. I go back to his class also every 2-3 years and say, hey, mind if I sit in, right?
And it's no
I
problem.
may have forgotten something like, oh yes, totally. I love the spaghetti tower. I
Yeah.
can't wait to get back on for the spaghetti tower.
Yeah, true. But the problem is that I'm only teaching you what happens after you get the job.
Yeah,
This is
that's
the
correct.
problem that I have. I'm teaching you after you get the job. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
teaching you how to get the job. And where my failing is how you go about getting that job. And that's what I haven't done in 13 to 15 years. 13 to 15 years. Okay? And so that's the reason why I pulled John in, because John then found a job at that time and then came up with all this wonderful and beautiful information and found a way to deliver it in a great way. Any advice that you can give us, John? General
Yeah.
advice.
So it's actually threefold, right? It's your LinkedIn page, it's your resume, and how to be able to get through the applicant tracking system. Pull all three of those together.
Repeat that.
You'll.
Repeat that.
So it's LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
Make sure your LinkedIn's popping. Make sure it's great. It's everything that all the information is there, and it tells them that you're the person, right? There's a way to tell them that. Then all of a sudden, it's your resume. How does that look? Because it's your 2 pages, 2 to 3 pages, no more than three, right? How does that look? That your huge LinkedIn page comes into 2 pages. That's
Mm-hmm.
how we show you. That's how we show you how to make that happen. Another thing after that is how to take it all and pass it through the applicant tracking system. You get one shot at that, one shot, right? And it is possible as long as you know how to do it well, right? Pull all that together, and after a while, after repetition and repetition, then you'll be able to do it. I know people who've done it for in under 45 minutes, and they get that interview. And then after that, we'll show you how to be able to get through that interview as well,
Wow.
right? How to lean in, how to run that entire interview.
Hence what I didn't do.
Yeah,
Do you hear me? It's not what I've done. It's not
right.
the best experiment that I would want to run. But if I did not jump out there and jump into the app trying to get through one time, I wouldn't realize what I'm missing. I really
Yep.
wouldn't. And he said, make sure your LinkedIn is popping.
That's right.
Popping. That means amazing, great, superb, beyond belief. So, and then
Mm-hmm.
you are the only person that they could choose, right?
You want that recruiter saying, hey, look, I loved your LinkedIn page. You are a perfect match for this job. Let's go ahead and apply for it.
Make sure your resume is ready to go. For real.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this is the only resume that we need to look at whatsoever. Yeah? and getting through that dang on applicant tracking system. You know, you know how, man, I put mine in there, man. It was missing dates. Like the dates was missing off of all my stuff. There was
Yep.
things missing in pieces of it. And I'm like, I probably had a special character someplace that messed up something. I'm like, oh man, I gotta be able to get through this thing better next time, because once I put it in, John, and I was submitting, then it showed me. It
Yep.
showed me what was there, and then I had to go in there and clean it up.
Yep.
I was like, oh God, what could I have done better? And I'm over here just like, okay, this is not the life I want to live.
You got some of the simple ones as, I want you to tell me the difference between these two words, use and leverage.
Well,
They're exactly the same words.
yeah,
When you're using something, you're leveraging it. But guess
That's
what? The applicant tracking system, it says, I want the word leverage. Give it the word leverage. In the world, I want oranges, and you're giving it grapes and bananas. No, give it orange.
well, yeah,
Right?
and the problem is that when I was doing the job scan thing, I don't know where that thing is located at right now off the top of my head. But when I was doing that whole thing, John, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, it's like they was telling me I need this word in my resume someplace.
You got
I
it.
need this word in my. Oh yeah, here's a strategic word that you should place there, right? I mean, literally, I'm over here just trying to find, and I got to find the wording, and then when it came down to skills, find places to put things at. So and then
got it.
it's all there, and my stuff goes through that system the first time. And I know 65% is not great, but it's better than 10. It's better than 10 because I was running out of time, man.
And remember, what we do at the end of the last half hour of the Brandon Land, we actually take one of the Fab Five and we put them through and say, here's the job you're going for. We're about to make a match for you. And all of a sudden, well, one person, Gonzalez, Ed Gonzalez, he was going for a senior director position at McKesson. Long story short, I said, you're at 85% now. Apply for the job. Guess what? He did. He got the interview. He talked to me in terms of how to do the interview. We worked that out afterwards. He's there now. He's the senior director of SAP for McKesson. He was like, wow, can't believe this happened. No, it happened because it works, right?
It works. That's the key statement. And so it's like I got a star over here in terms of helping people get through that system, right? I really do. And I'm learning because I'm not answering questions right. I'm not giving people enough information to be even to start off their journey. What I'm doing now is I'm just passing the link to Brandon Land and say, go there. Because that's going to be what's going to help you. And I mean, at Bearded Eagle, we probably this year trained 400 people in terms of hardship classes. And all those people, guess what we send them to? Well, guess where we tell them to go. I'm not saying that they go right over there, right? And it is associated, his class is associated with the Dallas chapter in terms of PMI, at least when I see it. But I know John is doing it through other chapters and everything else. And so Agilist, there's nothing wrong with PMI. Let me say it again. PMI is not your enemy, regardless of all this bumping heads that we try to dream of, that Agilists just have a problem with project managers. Bump that. You go get amazing information from the Project Management Institute. So go spend some time when they got good stuff that you can benefit from, right? Good stuff that you can benefit from. So my statement to you clearly is John's starting to do this through other chapters across the world at this point. And what do they want to do? Make sure that their chapter members are getting that value. But here's the deal. I want to make sure you get that value. I want to make sure you get that value because at some point we're going to come out of this COVID thing. And guess what? The job market is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, even though seem like we're going backwards a little bit with the COVID thing. But the job market is getting hotter. Would you agree with that, John?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's a lot of people actually employed right now who are jumping ship saying, hey, they gave me a $10,000 bonus offer. Go for it.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's really hard to do any of that stuff when you don't present yourself appropriately.
Exactly.
When you don't present yourself appropriately, you wind up you are agile coach, been an agile coach for 10 years, and the only opportunities you seeing is junior Scrum Master because you haven't presented yourself correctly. Now, I'm not saying go out and lie. Please don't go out and lie, right? Because once you get in there, they're going to fire you. But the idea, though, is that if you got the experience and expertise and you wondering why you didn't make it through, I'm a good example of that. I did not do the things to appropriately prepare myself. And so some people are concerned. Well, I got this person who just took this class, and you know what? They got a job and I didn't, and I got more experience than them. Maybe they presented themselves better. That's likely what they did. Maybe you didn't get through the applicant tracking system. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't have enough keywords. Maybe you wasn't the right match. Maybe there's all kinds of maybes or coulda, woulda, shouldas or whatever it's supposed to be. There's all that kind of stuff that exists. But the fact remains you are heartbroken because you didn't get the job. And so this is an opportunity, and I want you all to take advantage of that opportunity. And again, John, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, you know I ain't trying to find no job, right? There's no reason. I'm an entrepreneur. I got Bearded Eagle. I'm kind of good. But if they call me back, man, if they call me back and give me an interview, you know, right now, John, I'm terrified. I'm literally terrified. I'm terrified that they're going to call me, right? I'm literally terrified. And it make my heart jump. It make my heart drop like to the bottom of my stomach, right? Way down deep in my gut someplace. So I'm concerned right now that if they call me, what should I do?
Go for the interview. The fear is when they offer you the job.
Whoa! Yeah.
Come on, let's see how good you are at the interview part, right?
Oh wow! So now John telling me that I should go ahead and go. Okay, so I'm gonna ask everybody else. If you think that if they call me for an interview, I should go to the interview and really go through it and say no, because I'm at this point where I say no, I was just playing with y'all. I was just playing with y'all. Just, don't ever call me back. If you think I should go ahead and have the interview with whoever, just throw in there, do it, or yes, or something like that. I don't think they're going to get me because I wasn't 85%, John. I was 65%.
Who knows?
But
your name's out there if they know who Devon is.
Oh,
right?
if they get me, man, I'm gonna be on someplace else. I'm gonna be going crazy about it. Does that make sense? So yeah. So that being said, John, I appreciate you jumping on. I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate the stuff you're doing for the community because at the end of the day, you could charge way more for that class than what you do. That's just the truth. So my statement to everybody. I endorse the Brand and Land class. I am trying to use some of the things from the Brand and Land class. And then I can actually teach you what to do, or at least have good enough advice for you at some point, right? But he's the expert. I'm not the expert at that, right? And so I pass you off to somebody who I've been working with, since 2014, 2015?
2014.
Yeah, so it's been a long, long time. So I have, John has become a friend. Right? Mm-hmm. John has my number. John can call me at the drop of a dime, and I'm definitely going to answer if John calls, right?
This guy right over here, he calls me at 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, what's up? Talk to me. Whatever it is, you got it. It's yours.
Oh, man. So this is good. So hopefully this is valuable to you all. I know it was a surprise, but I literally just ran this experiment, and I just said, I just need to do it. Why not? Yeah. Let's see how it turns out. And I'm hoping they don't call me. But if they do,
I got $5 says they will.
Dude, if they call me, John, I'm gonna fall out.
You've got all those kudos on LinkedIn. They're gonna say, this is the guy. This is the CS.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and call you as soon as they call me. Trust me on that one.
Let's do it. I'll show you the interview. We'll do it.
But if I get an offer, I'm definitely turning that down. But that's gonna scare the crap out of me.
That's fine, but at least now you know that the saw is sharp, right? Sharpen that saw every day. right?
You know, I be sharpening the saw, man. My resume just don't look good. Okay, John, man. Hey,
All
thanks
right.
for this impromptu. I appreciate you jumping on.
Thank
And
you.
you know, we gonna do something because I gotta do a challenge with finding jobs or something like that sometime soon. So y'all be looking out for the challenge because I'm gonna at least have John come in and talk for 20 minutes, an hour, or something like that. So then we can keep this thing going. So, John, I appreciate it. I'm gonna say thank you, and I'll talk to you soon, John.
All right. Thanks,
All
Devon.
right.
Thanks, Steve.
So that being said, that was great. That was great. That was amazing. Okay. So I'm gonna switch topics here. I'm gonna bring somebody else in. If you thought if that was valuable for you, just give us a thumbs up. You know, go and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Just give us some love because again, we're trying to grow everything and keep things going and then go from there. But that was hilarious. So I'm gonna bring someone else in, and she's gonna be surprised when I bring her in. But it's all love. It's truly all love. So, Maylene, look at you. How you doing?
Hi.
It's bright where you at. But you way on the other coast though. How you been?
Yes. I'm in Seattle. It's hot over here. I love it.
Well, it's 100. It's 100 degrees out here in Texas. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Like it be 80 some degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning. I jump out there and ride my bike, and I be like, "This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It should not be this hot this early in the morning." I say this don't make no sense whatsoever. So
We've had a very hot summer. We've had a nice summer. I like it. But we had our record day here at the end of last month. That was not. Yeah. I didn't
nah,
care for that. Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. But it's all good. It's all good.
So what's going
You
on
look
with you?
good.
I'm trying.
Oh,
I'm doing some push-ups every once in a while. That's what I'm doing.
really? Cool. Cool.
So what's going on
I
with
believe
you?
you. I believe you. Working. Haven't.
Whoa,
haven't
hold up. What kind of work are you doing?
I'm a Scrum Master.
That's what I wanted to hear. She said she a
Yeah.
Scrum Master. Oh,
Yes.
all of y'all
Yes.
don't know, right? Everybody don't know, right? Was you a Scrum Master at the beginning of the year?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay. And I think we actually had the class at the
Yep.
very beginning of the year.
Yep. We had it on the. I think we had the fourth and the
Fifth,
whatever that
sixth,
was. Yep.
seventh, and you was in
I
all
did.
of it,
And both of them. Yep.
right?
Yep.
And with that class and some confidence building stuff, right?
Yes.
She
Yes.
she has some little shaky things, right?
Yes, I did.
And with you making some effort,
Mm-hmm.
you have now been a Scrum Master for how long?
Jeez. Uh, 3 months. Three.
How does it feel?
You know what? I look back and I'm like, wow. I mean, I am like, I feel good. I feel good. I really didn't think I could. I enjoy my group. I am learning. I am trying to be innovative. On my daily scrums on Fridays is fun Fridays. I got all the other scrum masters coming to my stand-ups. When I do my end of sprint with my retro and my reviews, I send a recap for the sprint out to everybody in the upper management. I've even rallied and gotten. I'm going to even try to do our next retro with our offshore. So we're going to do it later in the evening because I want to include them because they're part of my team too, you know?
Yeah.
But I found a jam board that I could send to them and have them put their thoughts and input on it first. And then we build off of it. And then again, I send the recap. I really like it.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Dreams come true, right?
I really like it. I even look out there to see if there's somewhere or something that I can do. I really don't want to physically go back into the office. Even
Yeah.
though we are going to be able to do 2 work from home days,
Hmm.
I don't want to. So I'm even looking out there, looking to see if something that I could do on a
Well, you're
work
doing it
from home.
right now, though. I mean,
Yeah,
you are truly doing it right now.
yeah,
There's no question about it.
yeah.
And again, as we're coming toward the end of July. We're talking about the beginning of
Yes.
January. You were
Right.
super emotional about really wanting to be a Scrum Master, be involved in this whole Agile thing. And
Yes.
did you have any Scrum Master experience at all? Was you
0.
involved in IT?
I was in IT, but I was so disengaged. I had to reinvent myself, and I didn't know how. I didn't know if I had what it could take. But like I said, I don't know if I've told you, but I looked and there was this classes and stuff. So I wanted to do. I had that week off of work. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do something. I needed to start. That whole beginning of the year,
Yeah.
do something different and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. When I saw your when I saw you and in your ad about the classes and stuff, there was just something about you that I could connect with. I didn't know what it was. I
Well,
didn't know what it was.
you
Maybe it was your
connected.
smile. It was something. But I reached out to you and you blew me away. That you I just threw it out there and you replied back.
I
I
did.
never thought that to happen. I
I
really
did.
didn't.
Yeah, but
Never
why
did.
why wouldn't I? You're a wonderful person.
I never thought you replied. And it's
And
been better than I could have ever imagined.
this is good. And
Yeah.
I know your family's proud of you. I
Yep.
know
My,
that
my daughter. Yep. Yep.
you probably come home, you probably at home smiling more,
I do. I don't say I hate my job as much,
right?
even though I want to keep pushing up more. I didn't ever think that I could do it. I was very, very hesitant for a while. And now people are coming to me asking me my opinion about stuff or how to do this. And I'm it's different. I really didn't think. And it was
Well,
just like just going. Just keep going. Things are changing. Everybody's learning, everybody's changing. And then yeah. And I also actually today there was another, like everybody has the focus groups and
mm-hmm,
surveys of your department and stuff. And I actually am going to volunteer to be part of our um, uh, employee, what's called employee advocate council, where we take all that survey results and we break it up into 3 backlogs. One's for uh, recognition backlog. The other one is my point counts or my opinion counts, and the other one is expectations or something. So
mm-hmm,
I'm looking to see which group I'd like to work with, and we're
mm-hmm.
gonna take all of that feedback, turn it into stories, and then we're going to and it's all volunteer, so it's nothing you know assigned as far as my job. And then that's another way for me to practice. But then I also want to get
Yeah.
connected back to us, because to you guys too, because I want to
What?
also
But
see if I could.
your experience is valuable, right? Even though it's something that's brand new, there are people that are in the position right now that you were in the position of in January. And the thing about you, the reason why I love you is because you show a passion, right? That I had in my beginning, that
No.
I still have right now when I walk into any organization, because I'm about to learn something new, right?
Right.
I'm about to do something different. Even though it's the same old Scrum, right? It's going to be different
Right.
people, different personalities, different
Right.
challenges, different everything. And
Right.
because of the passion that you bring, it's infectious. And this is what I noticed from you in the past, right? It's infectious. And that infection right there just seeps into other people, and we love it. We
Oh.
love it. We love it. We love being loved on, right? And so people at work love that. And then you're volunteering for things.
Yeah.
That takes your time. It takes
Yeah.
time, right?
Hmm.
But you're
Hmm.
learning again.
That's true. Yeah.
And that
That's
learning is going to grow. Does that mean you need to get paid from that immediately? No.
No.
But it will happen, right? It will happen, right? It will happen, right? But you're just learning right now. Did I expect when I first got into the Scrum thing, I wasn't making six figures. I wasn't anyone in. But you know what I did? I was on everything.
Yep.
Oh, we got this happening over there. I'll do it. No problem. I do it. Yeah, I'm right there. I do it. No problem. And when I hear you saying that, that excites me, right? So that means that the guy that I connected you with,
Yes.
he was very helpful.
Yes. Very, very helpful. We are still connected.
Okay.
And
bet you he's very proud.
great. He's great.
Good.
He is great. Yeah.
And that's the thing about it, right? This Agile community is unique. It's nothing like this Agile community because you take somebody and people just give to you. They pour into you, right?
Right.
And they don't have to,
no,
but they do.
Nope.
They don't have to. But when we find people like you, then we build more of us. So this is amazing. This is good. I am so very proud of you.
Thank you. So I'm kind of proud of myself too.
You should be super proud of yourself. There's nothing for you not to be proud of. You think about your journey. You think about what you've done. You think about your past 6 months. I have seen you with tears.
Yes.
Right?
You have
lots of tears, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just about that hope, that dream, but it's just about putting that work in so you can get to the place where you want to get to. So I appreciate you. And, you ain't got to worry about keeping in touch with me because I know you're going to keep in touch with me.
Always.
You always go do your thing. One of the things that my mentor said to me, which is the reason why Bearded Eagle has his name. He said to me, the eagles have certain individuality to them, and they do most things solo. But when they fly in the sky, they'll come across another eagle, and we'll exchange, and we'll keep doing what we do. And so Bearded Eagle's name is based on that foundation alone, off of my mentor. And so I pass that on to you because you are definitely one of those egos that I plan to be soaring with.
Absolutely.
And we exchange when the times come.
Right.
So super proud of you. Super proud of you.
You're so wonderful.
No, I'm not the one that's wonderful. You're wonderful because guess what? None of this stuff happens without you doing it.
But
none of it happens.
It could have never happened without an opportunity. And I got that from you.
Well, I appreciate you taking advantage. And you know this. I know that, but that's okay. We ain't gotta let the world know. But the one thing that is true is that I know this to be true. You will always make me proud.
I know you threatened us. We have to. So
yes, I do threaten you. Yes, I probably did. Yeah,
I remember that. Absolutely. I'm not gonna be the one to mess up.
My name is on your certificate.
That's right.
Don't mess my name up.
That's right.
Hey, my CSM was from Ken Schwaber. My CSPO is from Jeff Sutherland. Those are the shoulders I stand on. So
that's right.
Come on, you can't mess up the mountain that we're building.
No, I'm not gonna mess it up. I'm not the one.
Well, that is amazing. So you make sure you keep in touch.
Absolutely.
You have the ability to contact me offline. Send me another email. I'm gonna send you some more information. Okay.
I will.
And then let's just catch up offline at some point.
Yeah, okay? let's do that, please.
All right. So
I want to connect back.
Thank you. I will talk to you again sometime soon.
All right.
Love that smile. Love that smile.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. We got one more person that has called in, and I know we are going to run out of time here, but I don't want to give them an opportunity to have a conversation. They don't really have their actual video on, but I'm going to go ahead and bring them in anyway. Jay, you got to unmute yourself. Jay, you got to unmute yourself. So Jay, if you still here, I'm going to give you, probably 30 seconds before I drop it off. But I know you just called and maybe you're just listening. But if you're listening, Jay, come on, join us. I know you can hear me from in. Oh, they dropped off. So Jay is not joining us, but that's okay. Here's the deal. That right there was a pleasure beyond belief. That was a pleasure beyond belief. To talk to, somebody who I've been mentoring pretty much, especially in the Agile space, John, since 2014, and then that's somebody brand new, like Malene. Whew, that's 2021, man. And to have the breadth of that, I don't know if I can ask for anything more as a teacher. I'm going to say as a guru, maybe a savant. I don't know. But I love it, y'all. And here's the deal. These are the kind of things that we do on the show. This is exactly what we do on the show. It's good to hear good stories. It's good to pass off wonderful information. But I just do this for the love of it. Every other Wednesday, we do this. Every other Wednesday. So count 2 weeks from now. I'm probably going to send out emails sooner because I'm really bad at doing all that stuff. But I just be, y'all, I had some camera problems. Literally, my camera was going real slow for some strange reason. And so I was real panicked. I wasn't going to be able to do it. I was going to have to throw another camera in that was fuzzy. But, I figured it out. I ran some experiments and it worked out very well. But I want to thank everyone that showed up. I really, really do. I do appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all supporting this show. I appreciate everything that you do in our community. A new board of directors. If you're a member of the Scrum Alliance, vote for a new. You'll see her name in the chat. That would be an amazing thing because she's really trying to do some special work, right? And Scrum Alliance will send you the information about the voting and everything else. So if you don't have it already, just look, just go and double check. But Joe, I appreciate you seeing you, man. Hopefully your number hasn't changed. My number hasn't changed, Joe. Let's talk offline, maybe tomorrow, something like that. And let's catch up. Other than that, y'all, I am going to say my time is up. My time is up. I promised an hour. We're at an hour. Look, I appreciate seeing you. I'll see you next time. Peace. See you soon.